Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Against All Odds. My name is Daniel Coker, and we have a very special guest today who I'll introduce in a second. Maybe you've clicked on the thumbnail for this episode and you're wondering whether to switch it off and go do something else. I can assure you that you don't want to do that, because the story that we're bringing today is incredible. Truly incredible, and narrated by a truly incredible woman. Our guest today is Bola Obileye. Did I pronounce?
Obileye.
Close. Obileye. Okay, close. Obviously, you can tell that it's a Nigerian name. Bola is a TV chef and founder of Skinny Cook, which is a food company, and another company called Jitterbug. Again, we'll find a bit more information about that during the interview. Jitterbug is a premium soft drink and is stocked at over 700 Holland and Barrett stores across the UK. You can tell from the hairstyle, the glasses, the rings, that she's a fashionista. I would say she's a fashion connoisseur. And she has a 50s style. Again, we'll go into this a bit more during the conversation. She also has her own label, bags, Tote London. And in doing my research for this interview, I also found out that Bola started Britain's first black bridal magazine.
Good research.
See, I took my work seriously. Bola is also a UK certified health coach and runs an event management business. The interesting thing is that she started life as an IT consultant. And that's fine. Made a life-changing decision to retrain as a chef after overcoming illness and shedding, shedding 24 kilos.
Wow, good research, I'd have to say.
She was born in Lagos and came to the UK age 19 to study computing and business at London Guildhall University. Bola, welcome to Against All Odds.
Wow, I am so blown away. Thank you for having me. And I'm shocked that you literally just fixed me with the whole life history there. I really love it. Thank you for having me.
So tell us, what happened? Tell us your story, because you started off in IT, decided to lose weight, and also live sort of a healthy lifestyle. Because I know you're on to healthy lifestyles. I mean, your products are here, which are all healthy. Everything that you do is centered around health, low sugar, low calorie, especially from an African perspective. A lot of our foods are not exactly, healthy. So tell us a bit about your journey and how you came to. Before we get into this episode, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any future episodes.
So I literally started out, like you said, in IT after I graduated. But as you know, once you have a health issue and you get past it, you often look back and see what you could have done better, even while you're going through the health issue. So some years ago, I think about 6 years ago now, I had an issue where I couldn't hold food down. I would eat and the food would come back up. And I had two options, either to lose weight or have surgery. And I tried to not have surgery. So I looked at the alternatives and decided to try to lose weight. So in my journey to lose weight, I did all sorts of things, asked different people, what they did to lose weight. And I just did a mishmash of things and it worked. Okay. And in literally 3 months, I lost 24 kg. Okay. The flip side of that is that when you lose that much weight and you discover a new you, a new energy, a new vibrance, and you so much more. You just become this person that wants to achieve and do. Because when I was ill, the doctors initially had thought it was cancer, something really deadly. Because
the C word.
Yes, the symptoms were just really horrible. So when I discovered, when you're going through that, you're asking God, thank God, please, if you give me another chance to live, I'm going to do better for myself. So at this point, I'd been making all these promises. And when it came to fulfilling it, once I was on the other side, I was like, I've got to do it. And so that encouraged me to go to study all about food, nutrition, and that.
So you actually quit your job?
Well, I kind of like...
Side.
So I started out on the side in the early days, and then eventually quit my job and focused on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you see a path, along the food business, or was it just something that you did to try to see, let's kind of figure this out as we go along?
I think for me, it was really discovering that, food was like 80% of everything that changed my life. When I was going to lose weight, it was all about the food I ate. So I had to look at what I was eating. And like you said, Nigerian food, we give up everything, but we don't give up our food. I mean, we come from manufacturing, we wear the clothes, we wear everything, it's cool. But when it comes to our food, please, let me do Yeah. I know, right? Yeah. You want our food just as it is. Yeah. And I had to look at our food and see ways that I could make it healthier for me. So just that knowledge alone, I knew that I had to learn more about food because I'm not that gym buddy. I don't go to the gym. I lost weight in 3 months, not stepping a foot in the gym. Not that you shouldn't exercise.
No way. I thought the gym regime was
too lazy for that.
Really?
Not a day in the gym. It was all about everything I did in the kitchen and what I put in my mouth.
Wow. I mean, did it take a lot of discipline?
Oh, it did. It did. And I think for me, it was like literally thinking, I have to do this to live. I want something... the funny thing is, looking back, I remember my husband always tried to encourage me to go for a walk with him. I didn't think I had a problem with my weight, with my body. And I would say to him, I'm fine, you go ahead and go for your walk. Until it was necessary. And once I knew it was necessary, I think it was that mental switch for me. I'm going to do this for myself. I deserve this. I want to live. I want to do better for myself. So it was that switch. So on the other side, right, people started coming to me to ask me how to lose weight. You have to win that battle in your head because you're going to lose a lot of things that you eat. And you're going to be changing a lot of things. So for example, normally when you eat what we call swallow, you have your big carbs from your ema or mala, and then the vegetables are like really tiny. Yeah. The switch happens, so you have more veg and less of the starchy and carbohydrates leading food. So
okay,
you have to learn that as well. So it's really winning that battle in your head first.
So Bola, I know you are also sort of careful about what you drink.
Absolutely.
Not just what you eat, what you drink. A lot of what we drink has a lot of sugar in it. And people of color, we a lot of us like our sweet drink, simple malt and whatever. How did you transition into these soft drinks? Oh my goodness, even the packaging, Jitterbug. Okay, now I'm going to ask you about the name as well, and it's got a sort of a figurine of you on here.
My big hair.
With your big hair. So this is a lemonade swing, because Jitterbug, I think, is a dance.
Yeah, it's a 1950s dance.
1950s dance, and orange jive, okay. And this one looks, what is this, berry hop, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, and what are these?
So these are just other things. So I do other spices as well.
Okay.
And okay, so with the background of food, I think one of the things that just learning about food did for me is that, number one, it not only gave me an idea of what my body needs, how my body processes each food type, and what each food I put in my mouth tells my body to do. So basically, you could eat something and you've told your body, don't lose weight today. Today, we're just going to chill out. You could put food in your mouth and you're literally telling your body that we're on our way to burn food. So it really, that knowledge of knowing how to deal with and how to choose what to eat helped me more or less transition into the drinks, because one of the things we never think about is that our calories from our food is not only the things that we should think about. Calories from drinks do matter. So sometimes you think you're just drinking, but you could literally, eat or drink all your body needs from just a can in a day without realizing that you're going to go over the top. So the calories from drinks and the calories from food matter as well. Where you're introducing sugar or not introducing sugar, because as we know now, we all have more knowledge around sugar and how sugar is the enemy, more or less, because, it just causes anything that literally spikes our blood sugar and raises our insulin is things that we want to stay away from. And this is where our drinks matter, making sure that, you're going for, drinks with less sugar or no sugar, just because you want to maintain your blood sugar level. You don't want it spiking and all of that. Because once you start spiking your blood sugar level, you're going to tell your body that, yes, how about, we hide this away, then hide that away. And that's how, all the weight starts spiking.
I don't know, but look there. Because these have less than 80 calories per serving.
Yes. So it's amazing. You can just drink that. And because when I lost weight, one of the things I had in mind was, okay, so there are various diets out there, so to speak. You've got your ketogenic diet, you've got your what's it called, what do they call them now, they more or less count calories, where they tell you that don't eat more than the certain amount of calories in a day, and I did a little bit of that as well. So I was literally trying to make sure that I had a calorie deficit, so just maybe about 1,000 calories a day. So when you know that your drinks, is just only a fraction of that, that means that I can eat more. That means I can do more things that I like, rather than, missing out. Because one of the things I know that really frustrates people when you're trying to lose weight is the thought of missing out. And this is where, my food products come in. I want you to enjoy eating, enjoy drinking, and not always carry that load of, I'm dieting, I'm trying to lose weight. Just enjoy what you love, but do it mindfully, knowing, what each food group does to you when you do. So that way you can make a choice and, be healthier and live longer. Trust me, you don't want to. I messed with my body so much that by the time I got to a point where I knew enough, I'd done enough damage, that I always say to people, don't wait till your body says no more. Start to fix you now. Start to do better for yourself. Choose better. If I had known then what I know now, all the hospital trips, would have not been necessary, number one. I would not have happened. But because I just fed my body with so much junk, your body's on your side. That's the truth. Your body defends you. It helps you. It makes, if you push it, it keeps going for you. But one day it's just going to be like, I've tried. I've had enough. And this is where, I say to people that when I fell ill, yes, I got better. But some of the damage that I've done to myself, I'm still suffering for a bit. Up until now. I always say to people, I can't sleep flat like everybody does.
Really?
I always sleep, with my back against the wall, more or less, in the room, just because of the damage that happened along the way with food coming back up and all of that. And you really don't want that to happen to you. So for me, it's almost like a calling.
Okay.
I want to say that because I believe that things don't just happen to you. They happen for you. And they also happen just so that you can help other people. You know, I always say that it's easier for you to learn from other people's lessons than let it happen to you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in a place where you can't sleep flat. You can't, you know, all those little things.
Yeah.
But just look after yourself by looking after and choosing right the things you eat and drink.
Okay. And then in terms of your branding, because you've gone, you're very distinctively 50s, you know, the hairstyle. I think I'll ask after the podcast, not I want to ask on air. The how you fix the hair and everything, and the glasses. I mean, where do you get all this retro stuff and the shoes? I'll put the camera. Can the camera pick up the shoes? Let the producer do something. Okay.
I wish I'd be there.
Okay. Our producer's telling me we'll figure something out later.
Show you. My shoes are a little bit wacky, but if you want to play with it, it's not a way to like that. So basically, with my own look, so I don't know what it is, but I'm the fifth child, and I think when I was growing up, I had a lot of pass me downs. Like I never used to get any stuff. Never be like, oh, do waist finish with that shoe, you out of it, and it's like. But somehow along the line, I think my mind just got so used to things that were a little bit older than me, or things that had a story that I fell in love with, just loving things with stories. So I'd literally go out looking for something that, that table used to belong to da-da-da-da. And I just love the stories around things that somehow, but how I actually felt, I kind of like loved vintage and things with a bit of
you like classic cars.
I love classic cars. I'm now team classic cars.
I know. That's a money though.
Yeah, so I was a pink one called Penelope and a green one called Frederick.
You see, I've done my research.
Oh no. But you know, really falling into the 50s. Some years ago, I used to write a blog.
Okay.
When you start writing a blog, my goodness, you discover that there are like strange human beings out there. So I had this one, what do I call it now? Troll.
Okay.
This person just used to come and just abuse and say all sorts of things all the time. And then I think one day the person said something really horrible about someone that I did to it, so I deleted it. And I think that really changed tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that person came for me, said, look at you look ugly like something from the 50s. And I thought, yeah. And I thought, something from the 50s. And then I was like, okay, before I get upset or anything, I went in to do a bit of research. Yeah. I was like, but the women look good, you know, they cared about themselves. Yeah. And I was like, yes, thank you for helping me discover. And I think that really got into my head. I don't know, maybe it was a defense mechanism. I don't know what it was. But this was like 10 years ago now. And I just went overboard and I just fell in love with the 50s. That for whatever reason, I kind of like thank that person, because even though I'd always loved vintage things and older things, because I didn't have a choice, I was always down to older things from my siblings. The 50s, it kind of like helped me zero in on the 50s. Okay. And I started to dress that way, and I started playing with my hair. And at some point, because at some point I didn't want to do anything, as in I wanted to have natural hair and all of that. So I started playing with that more, and it just became me.
So where do you get these glasses from? These?
So my glasses, I have over 300 pairs, by the way.
And it's not one what every else.
Well, the thing is, when you have that much, they just become like a collection. You enjoy looking at them, but then you have ones that are your favorites that you wear all the time. Okay. And then the rest are just things you love looking at. It's like my car. My sister just is like, do you like pain? Because this car break down. I don't get it. And she was like, why don't you just get a car that works? And I thought, that's a good idea. So I actually got a car that actually works. So now I just enjoy my classic cars, just taking them for classic car shows and doing short trips because, they are painful right now. Because people are driving past you like, hi. It's amazing.
So that became your brand, and then they don't influence also the Jitterbug. Like the Jitterbug was something in the 50s, a dance, for recovering alcoholics or something like that.
Well, not really. It was just so Jitterbug was just so late in the 50s. You had this generation of what we'll call like the equivalent of Gen Zs.
Okay.
So at that time, they started going out to party a lot, and they didn't want to do the things that were conventional. Okay. They didn't want to do the things that their parents did. So they had this high energy dance that they would go to the clubs and they would really start to move really fast. So they'll jive and they'll throw themselves around and all of that. And people obviously kind of like zeroed in on that with it being very energetic. So when we're going to come up with a drink, I wanted people to feel energetic, to feel like, when you have this drink, it just makes you really happy. But imagine Gen Z is having like a very high-pitched dance. So that's how we did. That's what Jitterbug would be. So that's how. And obviously because I loved the 50s and I wanted it to be to tell some of my stories to why you shouldn't wait till you get ill before you go to something.
And then you also appeared on Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is
Future Food Star.
And in terms of other experience, how did you get selected? Because you're selected from about,
I think there were over 6,000 people that tried to get on, and to have been chosen his top 12, that first of all was a big deal for me. Really exciting. The whole experience was exciting, but it was also very nerve-wracking because we were the very first cohort of the show. We didn't know what to expect. All we knew was that we all wanted to get Gordon Ramsay's backing for our businesses. So the
£150,000.
It was £150,000. In all honesty, £150,000 would not have given you the mileage you really want in a business for so long. But I think we all really wanted that Gordon Ramsay stamp
of
approval. And he's also got a lot of connect and people visibility. Everything that came with that. So that was what we all wanted to have. The experience was amazing because you had 12 people that highly skilled and really know what they want and have put everything they have on hold for these 9 weeks to chase this dream. On the flip side of that, you got 12 hungry people that are 11, if I don't count myself. Just throw you under the bus. Just on their way. So, and then you didn't know what was going to happen because every day we get on the set and we'll be told today's task is blah, blah, blah. But for me, I always try to see everything as a learning process. And that for me was a big deal because I saw human nature in a different light. Because when the camera is off, you see this person, and when the camera comes on, you're like, and this person becomes like, and that for me was a very unnatural kind of setting for my personality. I think my husband always says I'm naive. I see life in a very simple way, but the truth is, I just always try to see the good in everything, and I try to see the good in everyone, and I try to help, and I just expect that people will give back the energy you give. But I think on that show, I quickly learned that
don't eat the world.
Don't eat the world. I tell you, if you want something, you have the world till you have to be ready to fight and do everything. And as much as I'm ready, there's certain things that I know for a fact I would never do. So I would let that £150,000 go by just because for me, It's just not me. That I would never enjoy that money if I felt that I got it in a way that just did not flow with my personality.
Yeah.
So but I'm trying. I always say to my husband, it would be hard. It would be tough. I would say no more. But, it's always so hard to... but I find that when I stick within my strength, my area of strength, how I speak, how I do things, things work better for me because I'm at peace. But when I try to just step out and be someone else, then I'm overthinking things. And I'm like, did I talk too much? And that show, my goodness, I had so much going on in my head that, it was crazy. But it was a good experience because I came out thinking, I'll tell you one thing though. After the show, I cried. Oh my goodness, I cried and I was like, I'm never going to be able to go out ever again. It's been a good experience because I go out and I can't believe that people recognize me from the show.
Yeah.
And the one that even happened that made me laugh, I was way past the pub. Yeah. This woman was so drunk. Yeah. She was so drunk, she had no business recognizing me. And she was like, oh my God, you're the lady in the front. Go to, are you drunk? I don't think anybody recognized me. That was like good fun, so yeah.
So, Bola, can you tell us about the experience of conceiving the idea of the drinks and actually taking them through the whole process of design, manufacture, branding, marketing, getting it into distribution channels and all that? Your packaging is also very vibrant. It kind of is you. It's very authentic and very eye-catching. So for someone who's watching this and for somebody who wishes to sort of emulate what you've done and live lives outside of this line that people have drawn. I mean, many of us live our lives confined into spaces that other people have determined for us. And it's like, okay, you went to school to do accountancy, so that's what you need to do. You went to do this, you need to do this. But then you have broken through those confines, and looking at you come up with somebody who's living life on your own terms, and you're a singer as well, and you've got I think a YouTube channel, or you're living your life, right? It's you're very liberated, you're very authentic, you're who you are. So just walk us through the whole process of how you move from conception of an idea to us having these products, lovely products, actually in the markets and in the shops.
I think you've mentioned quite a lot of things that I've done in the past and things that I'm still doing, the singing, the this or that. And somehow when people do that, it always takes me back to the battles that I had with myself. And I say with myself because where we come from, we've always been taught to be one thing. You're either a doctor or a nurse or this or that. And you're supposed to do that all of your life. But somehow I found that when it came to me, I wanted to be so much more. I just couldn't think about being just one thing when I can sing as well, when I can do this as well and do that. And I know that from the public, in terms of people that interact with me, I've always had pushback that, so what are you doing today? What are you doing today? And I know that for a long time, I didn't even want to tell people what I was doing because I always felt that I was being judged and I'm supposed to be this one thing.
Yeah.
But how did I win that battle? I had to sit myself down and just remind myself that, yes, there will be some people that have one gift.
Yeah.
There will be some people that would have, just in the Bible, as God gives some 4 talents or 3 talents. Yeah. He's going to ask you what you did with this. So I had to give myself permission to actually occupy the space of things that I felt that I could do without actually asking the world for permission. So if there was anybody out there, if there's anything you want to do, it doesn't matter what anybody is saying. You have to give yourself permission first. when you give yourself permission and you just go out and do it, the world will make room for you. You're going to go to places and they're going to say there's no space here. There's no space in the inn. But if you're like, we have to sleep somewhere, even if it's outside, they will find space for you. And before you know it, you start stepping forward and stepping forward. So with mine, when I first lost weight, I was so excited about, you know, the person I had become. My marriage got better. My relationships with my friends got better. I became a more confident person.
Yeah.
I became this person. I was like, who is she? You know, normally I'll go into a space and I'll just quiet. I'll be like, yeah, you see me, but I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah.
But now you're like, who wants to say this? I'm all in your face. And I love that because it just felt like, for me, it felt like so much was tied in with my, what is it? I don't know what to call it. Whether it was how I saw myself or how I thought the world saw me. But there was a kind of liberation, that perception. There was a liberation that came once I felt that had shifted. Having said that, though, I know a lot of people that, you know, are not necessarily slim, but are very confident, you know. I've got sisters that are big, but when they enter a room, that air of confidence, I didn't have that. I didn't have that.
Right.
That came from me after I lost weight. Okay. So I'm embracing it, and I want all my sisters to have that. Okay. So this is me on the internet, like 5 years ago. I lost weight. You guys can lose weight. You'll feel better. I wanted every woman to feel what I felt. Because number one, when I was in my marriage in the early days, I'll be asking my husband, do you think I should wear this? My husband, like, no, I pick what I want to wear. I'm like, I think, and he's looking at me thinking, I don't like that. Well, I like it. And so that shift for me was almost like taking back my power.
Okay.
And I loved it because somehow, whether directly or indirectly, it was attractive to my husband.
Okay.
So he saw this woman that so he keeps saying that he's been married to 2 women. Okay. Like one pre-weight loss and one after. And you know the one he prefers better. Because you have to find that thing that gives you confidence. Because when you do, you're going to want to break barriers. You're going to want to automatically do things that, you know, you would ordinarily feel like you're not qualified for.
Yeah.
And once you feel that way, there is nothing you can't do. If you think about an idea that, oh, you want to become a clothes maker or you want to launch your own drinks product, for me, I just took everything in the most simplistic way, because you look at this product and you're thinking branding, you're thinking marketing. If you look at it in that way, you'll never do anything. So you have to take a very simplistic look at it. What is it that I want to achieve? What do I need to learn? So you're breaking it down into phases. Because for me, I had to do that. So I started with the food side, making food products. Okay. So by the time I had started packaging foods healthier, so for example, so I've got like about 6 different spices. I knew for a fact that, you know, again, going back to the knowledge around food, you realize that even the spices you use in, like, buying them from conventional stores, that they're laced with a lot of fillers. They're not real food. So I started making my spices real food without fillers. And the minute I started with that, how do I package it? Who designed this for me? My sister-in-law. I will sit her down. We'll talk about design. She'll come up with a concept. We'll look online. Where can we get packaging done? It was very simple how we started.
Okay.
But by the time I got to the section where I was now thinking about the drinks market is so competitive. I then had to start thinking, okay, how do I think like a proper professional? I had a lady I was working with, her name is Fleur Emery. And Fleur used to help me out with, with finding all the right people that are doing the right things in the market to help us launch. So she introduced me to a branding agency, whereas I had started out with my sister-in-law branding for me. We then went on to work with a branding agency, and they look at what's on the market. They look at what your competition is like, what propositions that they bring into the market. So they help me fine-tune things that I already started. So if you've got any idea, just start. Because the minute you start, number one, the world makes room for you. People take you more seriously. And then people that can help you would somehow see that you're already doing it. So they'll be like, oh, instead of using this packaging, why don't you use this? And they will refer or they'll give they'll even speak for you in rooms that you're not in. You know, people will be doing things and they'll send people to you, send people your way, and send you to other people that can help you as well. So the first thing is find that confidence to show up. Once you show up, start in the most simple ways. Just break it down. Don't think about, I'm going to need money, I'm going to need 50,000. Don't go that far in.
You won't do it.
You won't. Start with, let me put this product, the concept together. Even if it's a picture that you can show people that can help you, you've got to start. Because if you're like just sitting around waiting for that money, it would never until we even got the orders and, you know, to supply Holland and Barrett, I didn't even know where the money was going to come from.
Wow.
So this is how you just have to go out in faith, more or less. If you're a Christian, you know this, that. No, you just have to believe that somehow God is going to help you make things align. I have seen that work many times because I'll be like, there'll be a project that they'll be like, can you supply us this? And I'm like, yes. And day by day by day, before that date, it all comes together.
Right.
It's not magic, but it does happen because you'll be speaking with the right people.
Yeah.
People will be sending the right people your way just because they see that you have started up. And it's there. It's real.
It's quite interesting that you say that because you've got to be, because even look at football, right? A lot of people watch football and, you know, in the support various teams and all that. But the people earning the £150,000 a week and all that are not the spectators. It's the people on the pitch.
Absolutely.
You know, and my take on this is that you need to be on the pitch to have a chance.
Yeah.
You know, listen, even if it doesn't work out, at least you learn something. But be on the pitch.
Do you know, when you just said, even if it doesn't work out, I mean, there's so many things that I've done in my life, but I always tell people that everything that I have done has led me to this point because there is a concept called failing forward. Because every time you think that you have failed, and I hate it to even use the word failing forward, but I'm using that because some people might say, okay, you used to do this and you don't do it anymore, therefore you failed at that. You didn't fail at that. That was a learning process.
Yeah.
It was such that when you find yourself rise again, you know things not to do.
Yeah.
You know the time wasters in your life. You know the closed doors. You know everything to avoid. And sometimes, as much as I always say to people that learn from other people, when you have to learn by experience, it's hard because you've learned for life.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be a better person for the next place you're going. And for me, I look back. When I started, I was doing my own website, I was doing my own this, doing that. And now, when I have someone build a website, I know where they've cut corners. I know where, I'm like, we do that because
I've gone through that process.
I've gone through that process. You just keep getting better and better and better. And it's a lesson. It's like going to school.
Okay.
It's full of hard knocks. Well, yeah, it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, it's like our story because we started this podcast purely by accident. I was telling you earlier on, purely by accident. I was in Portugal at my sister's birthday party, and the idea just popped up. And I started, and to do this, we have so many thousands of people watching every week. And you've got to put yourself in the public domain. People criticize you, people look at you funny, and all that. But at the end of the day, I'm on the pitch. I'm out there. And in the space of the time that we've been going, I see the transformation. And we've got proper equipment now. We've got proper microphones.
And nothing looks so good.
I know. These are serious microphones.
I think a picture you can get.
We've got a proper camera. I started with my iPhone. That's where I started.
Not where you are. I don't know. start where you are. I mean, there's so many people you look at online as well, when they started cooking at home, and some of them cook outside, and you look at them like a year down the line, the transformation. And these are some of the excuses we tell ourselves that keep us in that place that we don't know. Yeah, like, my kitchen is not right, my this is not right, I only have a phone, I can't record. You have to just work with what you have right now.
Absolutely. And then validate and learn, from that level and grow into becoming the better version of the
Absolutely. And just keep showing up.
Absolutely. So mindsets, okay, this brings us to mindsets, and something I talk about a lot, because you can't be something that you're not thinking, right? I think it's so important that for anybody to embark on any venture, you need to work your mindset. You need to believe that it's possible. You need to believe that it can work. You need to believe that the things that you can't see now can happen with the passage of time. What can you tell us about mindsets?
Mindset is, I think it kind of like relates to what I call winning the battle of the mind, because every time you want to do something, your mind is going to tell you, what I need to be like, you can't do it. No one's done it from where we're from. Like, no, nobody's going to take your product. Why would you think, you feed yourself so much. So you've also, so much negativity, but you also got to develop this thing about yourself that before you even start anything, see the end. Where do you want to go? Because it helps you plot where you're going. When I wanted to do the drinks, I already had Skinny Cook. I was making food products.
Okay.
But I knew that if I called the drink a skinny drink, or it would be stuck in a world of like trying to lose weight. But I wanted to create a drink that everybody could enjoy. What I see, the vision I have for it is that one day it will be available everywhere, that people would automatically have a healthy drink in their hand without asking for a healthy drink. Just as you go into like the store and you just ask for Coke, you're not like, is it healthy? You just take it because that's what you see. You need a cold drink. That's where I want our drinks to go, by God's grace. How do we get there? The look, being, stand out, all of those things, you start to get the boxes. But I think that mindset thing, you just have to see yourself winning. Because trust me, if you don't, it's not going to happen. And it's not because there are any witches or wizards to bring you back. Because nobody gets to the top of the mountain and then, whoa, how did I get here?
Yeah.
If you're walking to the top of the mountain, you see it and you're like, you see yourself there, I'm going to get to that top.
Yeah.
And then you start walking. And when you see a slippery stone, you're like, no, that one is going to make for you. You're going to make, a detour and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But you've got to see yourself there.
Wow.
Because until you do, you're just going to keep giving yourself excuses.
Yeah.
And wherever you find yourself, you think it's enough. You think you've arrived. You mentioned that we're in Holland, right? But I still wake up crying my eyes out. Oh my God, what have I done with my life? Because that's not the only place I see us. And I feel like we should get our skates on. We should be in Tesco. We should be Sainsbury's. We should be everywhere.
Everywhere.
And I know that's going to happen because I see it. And because of that, I continuously plan how we can be in front. I mean, one of the things that we're doing, to add on to even being in the stores, is when we're devising strategies to now become more consumer facing, rather than relying on stores that want to push us out. So we're trying to do more shows, more even weddings, showing up as the cocktail, desk or whatever. Things that will put us in front of people, so that they will start to feel like we're part of their life. Exactly. It all starts with what you see. Because if not, I'll be sitting now feeling like, yeah, we're cool, we're in the
You got right.
Yeah, we've arrived. It's not arrived. We haven't even scratched the surface of where we're going.
Wow.
Yeah, that mindset. And that will also keep you on your toes, because it will keep you pushing. It will keep you trying to work out ways of getting to where you're going. Rather than, I'm okay at this bus stop.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, Bola, how do you stay motivated?
I don't.
Y'all know energy. I'm just feeling all the energy. Also pumped up. I'm just gonna,
All those things too. I think because I'm very real with myself. I don't try to dodge where I feel like I'm not or I haven't really achieved.
Okay.
I kind of like, I try to be real with myself that, but there's still this to be done. And then I have days, I just mentioned to you that I still wake up sometimes and I'm like, boy, my God, when are you going to stand there, Joe Gabriel, to just start me up there, when you'll be everywhere, So when I feel down, I allow myself to feel that pain because it's real. I'm not making it up. The way I feel is legit. There's a reason why I feel that way. Yeah. So I allow myself to cry. And then when you finish crying, your eyes are clear. You wipe your other eye and okay, let's go. Because that's the only way. Because if you keep lying to yourself that, but deep down inside, one day you're just going to find out you're depressed. But when I verbalize the way I feel, it actually pushes me because when I feel like she could do him well, then my mind is thinking, who can I call? Who can help me? It's asking, I think those times you're real with yourself. It makes you deeper to discover how much more or who else or how, it just helps you think. And then when you come out that, then you can dance that way. Yeah, like you said, I'm quite... You can imagine how I was in 5 years ago when I first lost weight. Oh my God. I think if Instagram could have blocked me. Oh, like, whenever we're taking pictures, like, this is me. Everybody be like me. Well, amazing, yeah.
It's a birthday recently, a few weeks ago, I remember. It was a birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was my birthday. Oh my goodness.
I'm not a CIA, but I know.
Shoot. You brought to mind all the things that I've heard on, like the magazine and all of that.
Yeah. He's the CEO, or single on the day.
Yes. Wow.
So, tell us about loneliness. Will you say that the times when you feel lonely? And how do you deal with that?
Oh my God. So, loneliness in my personal life or in my business life?
Well, no, loneliness, right?
Yeah. As an entrepreneur.
Because sometimes people you don't get the support that you want, and people negative and all.
So, as far as the fact that, people are negative, and especially people that are close to you, I try to make people, I flip it because it's not because they want to be negative. It's because they love you so much, they don't want to see you hurt. Okay. So they're like, you want this thing everywhere. But why would people drop their Coca-Cola and drink Jitterbug? Why would people want to give up their sugar and do this? They don't want you hurt along the line. So that's why they come with this energy. But where I find that loneliness really bites hard is the fact that, first of all, I'm an immigrant. Yeah? So I came when I was 19. I don't know any aunties, uncles, or any that's still here. They're all back home in Nigeria. Okay. Whereas my counterparts in the business, they have uncles, they have aunties, they're from the UK, born and bred, white.
Yeah.
Their dads have, vineyards, they've got, all sorts of things. They got contact.
Yeah.
And as much as people will be like, oh, speak to this person, exactly. I haven't got someone that looks like me that can be my mentor. So we're disadvantaged as Black people. And I don't mean that and feel sorry for us in a way. It's just the reality.
Yeah.
Where some of my friends have shops and they're not paying rent or whatever because their uncle, their dad, their this, their that. And people always say that, when you want to start business, go raise it from your family. which family? No, I am in Nigeria. He's not going on mobile and everyone. When there's like, should we went to London, Queen? So it's insane, you know, they're like, you know, you read it, you know, you go for way to raise funds and they say, first of all, raise money from your network.
Yeah. What that was.
And they're saying things that don't actually speak to me and my journey. So I'm having to find ways to go around the bend, go around and come back around just because it's the reality. So for me, it feels like it's taking longer than it should. However, there's also the flip side that, which I always say, just show up. Because when you do, somehow some doors will open. Last year, and I think after COVID, so many things happened. And I think it was after the Black Lives Matter, so many doors opened for Black people in business. And, you know, so many businesses were like, oh, we're going to support Black brands. The year after, and then everything has died out because nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it, yeah.
And
the conversation has shifted.
I mean, I don't want to say the name, just be hoping that we still land up on the shelf.
Yeah.
But I remember working with a big high street retailer. And they were like, they were going to put us in as one of the Black brands. And then the conversation just went bloop. Because nobody's talking about Black Lives Matters anymore and all of that. And then on the flip side, there's been an awakening amongst Black people that we should support our own brands and blah, blah, blah. And they buy one and you never see them again. And people want you to go out and say, I'm a Black brand. And you can't even figure out if this is a positive or negative for you as a business. So I'm at a place where, you know, we're trying to really just take advantage of what is available to us. And just knowing that we have to work 10 times as hard and just keep it moving. Keep it moving. I think for me, just stay motivated because the times I'm like, tired.
Yeah.
I just want to, I mean, my birthday, my goodness, I turned 49 and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm proper old. And my 18-year-old son and my 13-year-old, they looked at me like, you're 49? But we know they are. Oh, my youngest son will come and say, Mom, in the olden days. I was right, what do you bring the olden days? What we're trying to say, sometimes you're like, you know, putting pressure on yourself that, getting old. I should have really made my billions and millions by now, but honestly, you just have to keep going. You just have to
keep going.
Just keep it moving. Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going. I like that. I like that. How do you juggle the competing demand of your time? Because you wear so many different hats. You have event management, the business as well. How do you juggle?
I think for me, as a person, I'm like 100% energetic. I am like that natural, you know, adrenaline, funny kind of like. I just love the energy. But how do I juggle things? I think I'm really lucky. I'm married to the only Nigerian man that does not care if I don't cook. I don't think there's any other like that one out there. He's amazing because he sees how important the work and everything I do is to me and to us. And he just allows me, he just gives me the space. And it's not very often that people get lucky with people like that. When I tell myself, I always remind myself I'm lucky because he's just amazing.
He's just chill.
He's just chilled out, you know? And so we've always had this thing where I've always felt like if I have to go now, I have to go now. Whereas I know a lot of people that are like, oh, I have to put things in the freezer, because the reality is when you load yourself up with work like this, something is got to give. There's no way. People are lying to you if they tell you that I cook and the freezer is full. Children are well. Something has to give.
Oh, it has to be.
Because even when you dig deep into the Bible, and you're looking at Esther and you're looking at, they had servants that were helping them. You know, this is the difference. Because when I go to Nigeria, I see that Esther life. When I outside, I'm like, Your damn lifestyle, bye. In Nigeria, I literally don't move. Food costs to me, then you have people to do everything.
Yeah.
But when you're here,
Yeah.
even stupid thing like making coffee or something, who does that in Lagos? They bring the coffee to you, man. You know? So you have to just be real and understand that you can't be everything. And hopefully you have a partner that understands that. Or you build a life that, you know, helps you stick with one thing or two things that you want to do. I'm just lucky that, you know, I had a very close shave with death.
Wow.
I had some, years ago and then more recently. And I remember when I actually thought for a minute that I might not survive. And to myself, I say, I've lived a good life. And for that alone, I'm proud of myself because I'm being able to try everything I wanted to do. Whilst I didn't want to die, I was still like, God, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Just looking back and thinking, I did this, I did that, I did everything. And I was trying to figure out things that I wanted to do that I hadn't done. And I couldn't think of any. I felt fulfilled at that time that if God had said, this is it, I would not have gone with any regret. And I promise you, it was a nice feeling. Nice to be fair. I don't want to die. But it was nice to feel like I'm doing everything. And I came out of it, survived. And I think it gave me more energy to keep doing what I'm doing because I know I'm enjoying it. I know it's part of my calling. And I hope it's blessing and motivating other people. Because in reality, we're not just here for ourselves alone. And when things, like if the way things happen to you, they happen for you, and they happen just so you can be a blessing to the world. And I hope that my life, I hope people will look at me and saying that, well, if Bola that came from Nigeria, that used to live with first down, satellite down, can be in Holland, then I can do it. Then you will come out with a bigger product just based on you seeing that somebody that looks like you, speaks like you, with an accent, it's albeit Nigerian accent, whatever, you know, just know that you can do it. There is no line drawn that anyone can go by. It's all lies that we've been fed that has kept us in this space. There's so much more out there that you need to go out. And the minute you step out, people say this, that the universe, I don't believe in the universe, but I believe in God. And God, I believe, always makes a way. He will send people your way. You'll be surprised. The people that would just call from nowhere and they would just want to help you. So just start today. Start anything.
Good. Well, what do you think about this podcast and what we're trying to do? I mean, these are early days, but I get energized with every conversation. So I started with my iPhone, and today, thankfully, we have a proper cover and proper equipment and all that. Just after a few months, and I'm just really energized, and I'm excited about where this is going. You know, but what do you think about this?
I love it. I love it for so many reasons. First, it's a platform that helps. I don't think I will write, but I just think it's a great platform for people like me that really have gone against the odds to do things that they always felt was out of reach. And because you're showcasing people like myself, other people watch it that have been fed lies will go away today and start working on their mindset. They're going to think that I saw this woman that was so normal, and they're going to start working on their mindsets. Secondly, I love it because I, as a person, am motivated just coming here, seeing how the setup is. I'm thinking I'm going to go back and I'm going to fix my own self out. I love it because our stories are being told. Oftentimes, I remember that 19-year-old girl had left Nigeria with just one suitcase. I went to stay with an auntie and then moved on, worked in press, moved on, sent myself to uni and had like 3 jobs. And I'm thinking, I wish people saw me 19 years ago. And even in the midst of my tears, when my eyes are full and I look around, I see what the change that has happened from that 19-year-old. I always think that surely this can bless someone if only they knew that story. And your platform is creating that opportunity for people to just get a glimpse into other people's stories. And not for the sake of storytelling, but for the sake of looking inwards and finding their own self. Because it was someone else's story that I heard that pushed me. It was someone else's story that I saw that made me think that I can live there. A Black person can buy a house there. I started thinking different, that I'm going to get a house there. I've seen my friend do it. Rather than, feel jealous. It's just amazing, because if you don't tell your story, nobody's going to tell it for you. And this is the amazing thing that you're doing. You're helping us tell our stories. No matter how small you think this has started, it is going to, the ripple effect is going to be so huge. And I just pray that you keep going and you find the motivation. And one day I'm going to call back and you read your pay studio. And I'll be like, oh. But this is so beautiful. And there's no better time than now. People are spending more time, listening, looking for motivation, seeing themselves in a new light. And I pray that you just keep doing what you do, because it's bigger than you.
Yeah.
It's bigger than your studio. It's bigger than your amazing cameraman that I hear.
Yeah.
It's almost life-changing. And you'll be surprised that one day people are going to come to you and say that, thank you for setting me free from that chain that told me that I had to keep working, or that chain that held me, from going for what I've always dreamt of. So thank you. From me, I am grateful, because I'm going to go away now and I wait to think, what can I do better? How can I aim higher? Because you even ask me questions that, along the line, I've even forgotten about, and I have to now be like, oh my God, let's refocus. So yes.
No, I'm really humble. By all the guests who have come on this show, because we haven't been going too long, but people like themselves, some people said to me, we're watching and want to see how things go before we come on. But you've come on right from inception, because you understand that anything that grows big starts small.
Absolutely.
You've got to start small, one subscriber at a time, and that's the way it works. And it's quite interesting, because we got connected through a work colleague of mine, who's a very good friend of yours, because she saw what I was doing, and this is not what I do for work. But then she saw the impact of what I was doing, and said, no, I've got this friend, and you need to interview her. And that's just how it's going. It's just one person at a time, and we come out every week. So can you imagine, every week?
I'm blown away that you haven't even missed one. I have not. My goodness, I have a whole studio, and I should be ashamed, because I know that my studio, not today. It takes a lot of work. I was thinking, set up the camera, all of that. So I'm really, this is one of the things I'm taking away, that they're showing up every time. I need to show up more. You're putting us on our feet, and you're reminding us that there's still work to be done. So thank you for having me. Yeah.
Well, we have a tradition on this program, or this podcast, where we give our guests an opportunity to say thank you to anyone or any group of people that they wish to.
Oh, wow.
So delivers the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm just going to be a typical Christian girl. Thank you, God, for choosing me. Thank you so much, because there's so many people that could have done this. But thank you for choosing me to deliver this particular product. And thank you for always rescuing me from dying. Okay. And then my husband, so understanding, so amazing, so not Nigerian, and let me just get on with things I love. Thank you. I also really want to thank Fleur Emery. She's the English lady I told you that helped me to envision everything. I see myself in a bigger light than just serving a small community. I want to thank my friends, even though sometimes they don't show up. But I love you anyway. And who else? My mother, my sisters. Wow. It's amazing when you're asked to thank people, because then you're forced to think that, what have they done for you? And sometimes it's hard to actually find, people that are very close to you that you want to single out.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it takes a village, and even my friends that have not physically done things concerning my business, I still want to thank you anyway, because you help my mental health and you see me for who I am. And I guess being me just helps me do me. So thank you, everyone. This is mine. I like this thank you thing. It all feels like getting it around me or what. Thank you, everyone that's connected to me in one way or the other, and everyone that upholds me in prayers. I'm really grateful, even for everything you do and don't do, because everything works together to keep me on my feet. So thank you.
Fantastic. I also want to thank Franco Mankwa, who has been very supportive. He's all the way in Dubai. He's going to help us to get this equipment. Maki Folson has also helped us. Kusia Bame. And my good friend Michael Addison, all the way from New Jersey, has also helped us. And also Kofi Bafo-Boni and Edmond, my very good friend, Edmond Owusu-Free. I just want to say a very big thank you as well. And ladies and gentlemen, on this note, I would like to say that if you've enjoyed this episode, if you can comment, please leave comments. The commenting is improving, and but we can still do a little bit more. So let's keep commenting in the comment section below. And also like this video, share it. Please share it. We're trying to build a platform. We can't do this by ourselves. We need to help each other. And I'm humbly asking if you can help us by sharing this video and also subscribing. We've gone past 500 subscribers. Next target is 1,000. I'm hoping we can get 1,000 by the end of August, which is very achievable as a mindset. So with your help, I believe we can make it happen. So comment, like, share, and subscribe. Bola, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. So guys, I've always wanted to say this: like, comment, subscribe. That's the
Nice one.